here, a gap in the back right here, and the third gap over there. Might not be able to see this, but it does have a glass piece to it as well. This is the bulb in here. You can just remove this bulb by pulling it out. Hello. This is going to sound a little backward, but we'll actually start today's video by turning off the lights so that we can see the problem a little more clearly. And here we go. As a matter of fact, we'll actually turn this up to full brightness. There you go. So we've got a nice vent over there. Yeah, it's a true vent. It vents outside the house, outside the kitchen, and it does have a light right above the stovetop. Unfortunately, as you can see, I only have one light over there. So in today's video, I'll be addressing the light situation. How do you replace that bulb in there? Alright, so let me turn the lights back on, because for this part, now that we've already seen what the problem is, I want to show you how I fix the problem. Well, don't really need that, but I'll turn it off so that we can see. Or maybe I need to turn it back on. Anyway, you've seen that it is the left side is functional, the right side is not functional, and it turns out that I actually need to turn it back on so that I can actually, there's a point I'm going to be making here. So light, full brightness. You have two bulbs in there. In each of them you have one bulb, so two bulbs in total for this assembly, and ours is a GE profile system is what it is. And I already looked inside. I know the bulb that I need to replace. This is a bulb right here. It is a 12 volt 20 watt G4 bulb. As you can see over here, this thing was like $8 from Lowe's. I could have gotten something cheaper or a better price if I bought two of them LEDs from Amazon or any other online retailer, but I just needed to do it a little sooner, so here we are. So I'll show you two steps. I'll show you two processes. One is just replacing the bulb. What do you do to replace the bulb? And for this, let me get the camera a little closer, and I'll show you exactly what you do. Alright, so you can see in this one here, let's see, when you look at this, you can see like three gaps. There's a gap here, a gap in the back right here, and the third gap over there. That's pretty much how you get to the system. Let me do this, if I can find there you go. So I'll try to focus the camera on there. My tool of choice is going to be, see these over here, right? This is called a precision screwdriver set, and I get the largest flathead screwdriver from here. This one right here, this is all I need. You could use, I guess, a knife if you have knives that are strong enough, but generally with this is all I need to do to get to the glass. See those three spaces I was talking about? Here, this is one of them. Here's another. Pick whichever one you want and just pull down. Maybe you might need to get something a little narrower, but mine, in this case, the widest one works for me. So pull down. You might need to come to a second side to help it come down cleaner. Let me do this. Go to the other side. There you go. Perfect. So as you can see, the ring comes out, and you might not be able to see this, but it does have a glass piece to it as well. So it's not really the first thing I do. This is how you get to it. I just wanted to show you the process. And after you remove this is the bulb in here. You can just remove this bulb by pulling it out. Did you see that? It's a little bit of a tight space, but I'm going to redo this demo, and this is on the way in. Just push it As I said, I'm going to redo this demo. I just wanted you to see the basics of the system. That's how you get to it. So, let me do this before replacing the bulb though, because as I've said, the thing is like $9. So usually what I do before even buying a bulb, before replacing all that, what I do is come here and pull the whole assembly, the whole lamp assembly down. Just get a nail, or you don't want to scratch it, so I guess a butter knife might work, but I've got decent nails. They're hard enough, so I just come here and pull this out. Just pull down. There are two insets I'll show you. There you go. Okay, so here, see this? You've got one side here and another side here. Likewise, you do have cutouts. Here's one, and here's the other one. So on the way in, you want to align this and this. And as I said, all you got to do is that. You can try to do this, but it's going to find its way home, really. Right? Kind of settles right there, and just push it in. The reason I'm removing is, as I said, and here it's just pull. This is where the whole thing resides. Let me turn off the light so I don't shock myself for safety purposes. All you do here is pull, but don't just yank at it. You know, support this end right here, the one that comes with the yellow wires, and then pull it apart. Okay, this is the one that came from the right side. I'm gonna do the same to the left side. Since mine's been running, it's been on for a while, it's kind of warm. Pull this. Same thing, pull this here, grab this end, and just pull it down like this. So that's simple, just grab this end and pull. Okay, so the purpose of doing this is that I want to make sure that it is the bulb that is the problem, rather than the lamp housing or the wire, or maybe a wiring issue. So I'm going to get the one that I removed the housing from, the glass from, and install it here. And installation, you do have like a, look at that, see this feature right here? It prevents you from installing it backwards. And likewise, this one here has got a groove in it right here, so you can't go wrong. You'll be able to match it properly. And usually you want to hear a click. It's very subtle, but there it is. So let me try to now turn on the lights. Now that I've got that installed, let me turn on the lights. Nothing happened. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, install this one, the one that came from the right side, the one that still has the glass on it. Install it on the other side. And the lights. There you go. So I have confirmed that it is indeed an issue with this assembly. Most likely the bulb. I mean, there's not much else to go wrong with the whole system. But again, I'm not doing this just to be cheap, but I wouldn't want to waste my time, because historically, you know, these standard bulbs, if you do have an issue where they blow, the filament goes bad or breaks. Can you hear that? You can hear it, right? That's pretty cool. It makes sense. The LEDs, unfortunately, don't do that, but these go bad as well. So sometimes you can't just depend on the sound as the only way to determine when a bulb is bad. So that's why I do the functional check. You switch sides, and once you do that, you can test it. So here, as I said, unfortunately, it's so tiny. Plus, I mean, how to even make this shake, you know? So it's a really tiny bulb, and you just have to read inside here. I think the camera can zoom in pretty far enough to be able to show you what the readings are. So this, I ended up taking a picture of this, whatever it says inside here, which is max 20 watts, G4, 12 volts. So obviously it's not like I know everything else that's printed there. I'm not a lighting engineer, but I was able to, as I said, I was able to go to Lowe's, and that's where I got this bulb right here.
It's like $7 for just this one, which is 7, 8, or 9, maybe even 10. I can't remember. It's not cheap. And once you read the instructions back there, you know, it tells you have to be when the section in Lowe's that had these bulbs, you had things that ranged from like 12 to 120 volts. I had the 20 watt, the 30, 40, 50. I think it's something as high as 100. And the different, obviously the terminals look a little different, but on this one, since I didn't have this to take with me to compare, I just went by that G4. I googled it and I knew what it was. All right, so, and it also tells me something that I wanted to mention here. It says accent lighting, blah blah blah. Well, this one doesn't tell me here apparently, but I know usually you're not supposed to touch the bulb on the way in. So this being a cook surface, it does have some oils and things like that. And what I do, usually do this even before removing, before even touching it. Alcohol wipes and just wipe things down. Usually just that surface that faces down, the one that's in contact with, I guess, with air or fumes from the pots and pans. Just wipe that down. I could do the same for the other side, and I'm doing that right now. But as I said, the other side was hot, so I wasn't really playing with it. Okay, and then I need to open this. What I usually do for this part, knowing that the oils, you do have natural oils in your hands, I use a paper towel. And grab the bulb with a paper towel. And then aim for this. See right in there? Let me zoom in. Right there. That's what I'm aiming for. So I want these two prongs to go in there. And I'm sorry if you can't see it very clearly. I'm trying to make sure I don't screw anything up. So right now it's in there, but crooked. I feel like I should have gotten like a glove or something. Alright, so push it till it bottoms out. Till I don't, well, I can still see the legs. So right now I just want to push from the top. Oh, that's about as deep as this one will go before I break something. And what do you know? I guess it is going to be time to test it. Once I turn it on, I expect that both lamps will come on. Worst case, one of them blows, but we'll see. There you go. We got both of them working. So now that I've certified that this bulb is functioning okay, I'm going to go ahead and put everything back together. Perfect. Alright, there you go. And once again, before I step away, I'm going to give it a test. I should have tested to see if the dimming function works. Whoa, that's bright. Yep, there you go. So, I guess I'm pretty happy with how everything turned out. I'll say the little experiment is over, if you could call it that. But then, I guess it is time to just, I don't know, call it a night. I hope this video is helpful to whoever it is that's looking at it. As I said, hopefully you got the basics of the process within the first 2-3 minutes of the video.